I'm just shocked at how many lies were told. Hey, Candace, you should check out the metadata from the New York Times big publication.
People were sort of just noticing that Blake Lively was not the nicest person.
On February 16, 2025, Candace Owens made fresh allegations revealing Blake Lively's manipulative actions, which ultimately caused her public breakdown in both Hollywood and the courtroom.
All right, guys, we are in the midst of some crazy PR games right now coming from Blake Lively's side.
A number of new names, including Jenny Slate and Isabel Ferrer, have now emerged in the ongoing dispute, which is rapidly contributing to the downfall of Hollywood's beloved figure, Blake Lively. Hollywood has long relied on PR strategies to handle scandals, craft narratives, and safeguard public image. Celebrities frequently use publicists, media outlets, and social media to shape their brands.
I'm just shocked at how many lies were told.
For example, Lively has carefully crafted her image as a wholesome, family-oriented actress. She frequently shares posts about her children, her relationship with Ryan Reynolds, and her business endeavors, presenting a perfect balance between career and family life.
And Ryan and Blake are still very powerful people in Hollywood.
Now, consider how when PR stunts go awry, celebrities often use someone or something as a distraction. In this case, Blake Lively orchestrated a narrative that dragged Justin Baldoni's name through the mud, tarnishing his reputation. Her PR strategy seemed to be working well, with prominent Hollywood figures like Taylor Swift supporting her. However, Candace Owens threw a wrench into her plans by exposing everything with receipts and metadata, completely derailing her narrative.
The PR tactic to try and sway the public, and I think these are deliberately being leaked to us creators so that we can run with it.
Candace Owens' investigation into Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' supposed hidden agenda feels like one of those moments where you can almost feel the aha moment dripping out of every word. Her deep dive into the situation, backed by receipts and hard evidence, seems to peel back layers of the carefully crafted image Lively and Reynolds had been working so hard to maintain, leaving their strategy exposed for all to see.
Essentially, I walked you through the New York Times metadata and showed you that this woman had posted on X and essentially just blared it out to the world.
This is Owens' Instagram video that she published on February 16, 2025, and oh boy, it revealed just how desperate Lively, Ryan, and their PR team have become to take down Baldoni. They are apparently shopping, meaning they're spending huge amounts of money to shape the narrative around their infamous lawsuit. The level of manipulation and control over public perception is mind-blowing as they try to craft a story that benefits their side, even if it means throwing others under the bus.
So I became aware a couple of weeks ago that somebody in Blake Lively's camp was shopping around what they claimed to be HR complaints to various tabloids and publications, namely TMZ, Daily Mail, and the New York Post.
OWS paints Blake and Ryan as Machiavellian masterminds plotting and scheming behind the scenes, almost like over-the-top Hollywood villains. According to Owens, their carefully crafted public personas are nothing but a facade designed to distract everyone from their true goal, taking down Justin Baldoni. I mean, really, does it get any more dramatic than this? The level of intrigue and manipulation is straight out of a thriller, and Owens isn't holding back in exposing it.
These HR complaints saying these were real and these were ignored, all painting Justin Baldoni to be a monster, okay?
This proves just how much Lively and Ryan are on their own in this journey. At the start of their lawsuit, Lively strategically used the New York Times to shape the narrative and win the sympathies of Hollywood and the media. She filed a complaint against Baldoni on December 20th, 2024, and just one day later, on December 21st, the New York Times published an article detailing her story, positioning Lively as the tragic heroine in yet another Hollywood saga. This time, the story portrayed her as a victim of sexual harassment, painting a picture that garnered widespread support.
Interestingly enough, all of these publications, which are known to just publish whatever, publish things about me that are completely untrue, they don't care about defamation or anything like that, all declined to publish this.
The timing of the New York Times article and her lawsuit was no coincidence. Candace Owens proved this in one of her videos, highlighting how Lively used her financial influence to convince the New York Times to write a sob story about her. This move seemed to align with the #MeToo movement, ultimately leading feminists and Hollywood actresses to rally behind Lively and boycott Baldoni. Owens claims that this strategic maneuver was all part of Lively's plan to shift the narrative in her favor, using the media to control public opinion and damage Baldoni's reputation.
She claimed all of these people acted in bad faith and conspired to damage her career after she raised concerns about what Baldoni was allegedly doing on that set.
This article contains a lot of serious accusations against Baldoni. Lively claimed that she was sexually harassed during the filming of It Ends With Us alongside allegations of being fat-shamed by him. She also stated that Baldoni made her feel uncomfortable on the set, portraying a hostile and toxic working environment. These claims, if proven, could seriously damage Baldoni's career and reputation. The article painted Lively as a victim, seeking to garner sympathy and support from the public and Hollywood at large.
Thursday, for the finale, we did, essentially I walked you through the New York Times metadata and showed you that this woman had posted on X and essentially just blared it out to the world.
When Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Fredman, addressed these allegations in court, he argued that there is a distinct difference between sexual harassment and sexual assault. He expressed skepticism about whether Lively's claims met the legal threshold of assault, pointing out that none of her allegations seemed to qualify as such. Fredman emphasized that there was no evidence of any physical sexual assault occurring on the set of It Ends With Us, challenging the credibility of Lively's accusations. This move further fueled the legal battle, casting doubt on the validity of the claims and putting pressure on Lively's case.
I mean, we've just, been through the Me Too movement. We've heard all sorts of serious allegations of sexual harassment.
On top of these flimsy claims, Candace Owens took her time extracting metadata from the New York Times website, completely flipping Lively's melodramatic sob story into a case study on dishonesty and behind-the-scenes manipulation. How unfortunate for Lively.
Blake Lively, if she was sexually harassed to such a degree in this filming situation, she wouldn't have returned to the film.
Brian Fredman has used this metadata and timeline in his lawsuit, and to the ultimate dismay of Lively, the court has accepted it.
He even says we now have a concrete timeline, which we believe implicates Blake Lively, and, come on. I was the psycho who put together the timeline.
In this whole grind, the poor, or I must say, evil, New York Times suffered. Justin Baldoni has filed a defamation lawsuit against the Times, claiming $250 million in damages after seeing his ruined reputation. With the Times now part of a lawsuit, it's natural that all other media outlets feel hesitant to buy the so-called sob story of the so-called evil Hollywood queen.
You guys have been sending me those tips, tagging me and stuff, and I've just been presenting it to the public and putting together a timeline to pull things together. I think he will eventually, Taylor Swift. But here's what's even greater. On Monday, they're going to court.
So, what do Lively and Ryan do here? They turn to influencers and TikTokers to shape their narratives. With their credibility in the mainstream media dwindling, they lean on social media personalities to help spin the story in their favor, hoping to regain control over the public's perception. By doing this, they hope to bypass traditional outlets and tap into a younger, more impressionable audience who might be more easily swayed by their version of events.
Main reasons being that these complaints coming in were heavily redacted, and yet when they reached out to the person that was stopping them and was like, hey, we have some basic questions about this, why are you blacking out the dates? Why are you blacking out the complainants?
They have sold their HR complaints to so-called influencers and TikTokers who have spread these disturbing HR complaints across the internet. The complaints filed against Justin Baldoni, as described by Blake Lively, seem troubling at first glance. However, when you dig deeper into the details, they raise more questions than answers. At the core of this issue are the nature of these complaints, the timing of their release, and the fact that key information has been mysteriously redacted. It makes you wonder if there's more to this story that's being hidden from the public.
So you start leaking to TikTokers, independent journalists, because you view these people to be stupid, right? So you're like, okay, they'll absorb the risk. They'll definitely publish this if they think that they have an exclusive.
The official complaints themselves are said to center around Baldoni's alleged inappropriate behavior during the production of It Ends With Us. These claims reportedly involve accusations of misconduct on set, which Blake Lively and her team have used to fuel the narrative against him. However, as more details emerge, many are questioning the validity of these claims, especially given the timing and the lack of concrete evidence.
They got a little iffy on the details, and they didn't want to take the risk for potentially being sued for defamation without being able to legitimately confirm that these were real complaints.
However, when you dig into the details, it becomes clear that the actual nature of the allegations is not fully disclosed. Some information has been redacted or left vague, making it difficult to assess whether these complaints are rooted in truth or exaggerated claims. This lack of transparency raises suspicions about the validity of the accusations and whether they are part of a larger strategy to manipulate public opinion and control the narrative surrounding the lawsuit.
Summary of complaint. Complainant is clearly traumatized in her verbal account of incident. Director Justin Baldoni approached complainant and asked her to speak privately. He asks complainant if she has ever had an orgasm on camera.
In this video, you can clearly see how Lively has obscured a lot of information and dates, making the HR complaint vague and unrealistic. Candace Owens claimed that this redacted information is the main reason these HR complaints are highly unreliable. The selective withholding of key details raises questions about the authenticity of the claims, suggesting that the narrative may have been manipulated to fit a specific agenda.
She asks why this is necessary to know since the climax is not scripted in the scene. Baldoni then leans close to complainant's face and whispered, "I think we should go ahead and add it in. Show me what you got."
If you're going to fabricate, or at the very least exaggerate, a scandal, at least try to make it believable. The complaints against Justin Baldoni read like they were written by an overly dramatic screenwriter trying to add flair to a courtroom drama. The details are exaggerated, and the narrative feels more like a script than a legitimate claim, raising serious doubts about the truth behind these allegations.
Complainant told Baldoni she did not want to do the scene. He told her she couldn't hold up filming by refusing. Complainant began improvising the scene, making what she perceived to be noises of a sexual nature.
His breath missed at her face. Really? That's the kind of poetic nonsense you'd expect from a bad romance novel, not an official HR complaint. If this is the level of detail we're supposed to take seriously, then I guess every actor in Hollywood who's ever had a heady breath near someone should be expecting an HR visit soon. It's hard to believe such flimsy claims when the language used is more suited for dramatic fiction than real-life allegations.
Baldoni's face was so close to complainant's that she could feel his breath, causing her face to mist up.
Along with the exaggerated claims, there's another one involving an intimate embrace and an added sexual climax scene. These claims only seem to add unnecessary spice to the courtroom drama rather than providing any real substance to the allegations. It feels like someone is trying to inject sensationalism into an already complex situation, making it harder to take these accusations seriously.
Complainant states he was so close to her for so long, his breath on her face necessitated her makeup needing to be redone.